Hello YouTube, my name is Octopus Joey, and do you ever feel like video games are too slow? I mean, I'm a busy person. I have a life. I don't have time to just sit around and play video games all day. None of these statements are true. But certain emulators, such as Project 64, have a limit frame rate option, which, when unchecked, makes the game go really fast, ranging from roughly 5 to 10 times the game's normal speed. It all works out so well. I love the Nintendo 64, I love going really fast, I love torturing myself. What more could I possibly ask for? So I guess I'm gonna play some Nintendo 64 games really fast. Why don't we start with some good old Banjo Kazooie? I'm sure some of you who may have played this game as a young kid may have been very confused if you weren't able to read the text yet. Well, now it's come full circle, because now I can't read the text because of how fast it goes. Also, can someone please make a gif of 2D jumping at this speed? Thanks. At the very least, I know how to play the game already, so with that opening cutscene out of the way, let's start! Oh wow, this is terrible. Well, I can sort of attack things, and I really do mean sort of. But not surprisingly, the controls being sped up makes the game really hard to play. It makes your controls really slippery, making precision practically impossible, and it's not a very pleasant experience. I also love how enemies can take away most of my health almost instantly. So the swimming controls, which weren't that great to begin with, are even worse now. It's not very easy to turn, and you're always either going too fast, or your air meter goes down too fast. Anyway, I got to Grunty's lair, and the music is just beautiful. And so is the Mumbo Mountain music. To give you an idea of how hard it is to control yourself at this speed, I can't even run in a straight line properly unless I really adjust my character and camera first. I feel like a drunk person on a treadmill, only I'm not allowed to fall down. Or tell someone that I just met that they're my best friend. Moving around precisely in order to collect notes isn't easy, but it's doable. So the Talon Trot, which is a move that makes you faster, don't bother using it unless you absolutely have to. So eventually, I got at least somewhat used to the controls and made some progress, and decided to confront the gorilla that throws oranges at you. Not a good idea, because now he can throw them at you 10 times as fast and kill you a lot quicker. Luckily, I managed to escape with 1 health left. Alright, time to transform. And shockingly, the platforming with the bug is impossible. I got killed by the other bug before I could even make it to the 2nd floor of this cave. But I did get enough collectibles to move on to the 2nd level, so I guess I'll try that. Well, it's not easy to collect the blue ginger without dying because the shark can now get to you very quickly, and like I already said, it's extremely hard to control yourself underwater. I was able to do a few things in the level, such as get this guy's treasure back, learn how to fly, and collect a few more things. But then I got killed by the shark again after making some progress, and I don't really want to redo that. Plus, there really isn't that much I can do in the level at this speed, so I'm just going to consider this a dead end. Maybe a 3D collectathon platformer wasn't such a good idea after all. I mean, the camera got in the way a lot, making it really hard to play. Maybe a 2D game would be easier. So now I'm going to play Super Smash Bros. Specifically the single player mode, and I will be playing as Mario, and for obvious reasons I'll be playing on easy. Well, it's kind of hard to time your attacks, and it's not really possible to save yourself when you fall off, plus it's just really easy to jump off by accident. But other than that, it's surprisingly playable. And by playable, I mean this game has unlimited continues, and I push random buttons and occasionally something works. But that's pretty much how I play Smash Bros anyway, so it all works out. Are the targets supposed to be this small? Because I think my emulator is freaking out. You know, I think the main reason this is working out for me so well is because the computer players are really stupid. I'm pretty sure half of them just killed themselves and I just sort of punched them a few times. The stage where you have to jump on all the platforms is pretty much impossible because of how fast they move. I actually ran out of time on this part. Yep, my emulator's freaking out. There is a floating face where that tree used to be. So once I got to Master Hand, I'm pretty sure I spent almost 20 minutes on him before just giving up. I learned how to actually dodge attacks, learned good times and methods with which to hit him, and went game over so many times that my score actually went down to 0, and I even got him as low as 50 health. I'm honestly kind of disappointed that I couldn't beat Master Hand after making it this far, because it was clearly playable up to this point. But overall, I guess it's not very playable at this speed. Maybe I should try a slower paced game like Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Well, we're off to a great start, because even naming Link is difficult. After that, however, being extremely fast actually helps the game because the really slow opening happens much faster. Also, I think Fast Kokiri Forest has set a new standard for Nintendo 64 music, if not music in general. And by that, I mean it's really annoying. Again, it's hard to walk in straight lines, but other than that, the controls are fairly manageable. I actually managed to get the sword, shield, and get to the first dungeon pretty easily. I actually kind of like this. Certain things that were too slow in Ocarina of Time can now be done instantly. Opening chests, Navi's dialogue, and even general movement is pretty satisfying at this speed. But it is still hard to move precisely and avoid jumping off of platforms, such as on this platform. It took me like 5 seconds to align myself to open the chest once I was on this platform. But anyone who's played Ocarina of Time will probably find this wall climb very satisfying. It's so slow at normal speed. I'm actually really starting to like this, and my game crashed. Let's try that again. Nope, it crashed at the same spot. Of course, as soon as I start enjoying a game going 10 times its normal speed, it doesn't freaking work. My life is great sometimes. Maybe I'm just meant to be tortured by everything. Well, I may as well go all the way. Time to play F-Zero X, a game that's already very fast-paced at 10 times its normal speed. Well, that didn't work. I guess if I want to make any progress in a game, I should try a game that I'm actually good at. So I guess for the grand finale, or whatever, I'm gonna play Super Mario 64 at 10 times its normal speed. Why am I playing another 3D collectathon platformer, you may ask? Well, in true Nintendo fashion, I do not learn from my mistakes. Alright, let's do this. Well, like Ocarina of Time, it's very satisfying watching the slow opening cutscene go by so quickly. But after that, it's way harder to control than Ocarina of Time. You can end up from one side of the castle grounds to another in like half a second. But that's not gonna stop me, because like I said, I'm good at this game. Fight me, Siglimic! Does Siglimic still exist? I'm pretty sure he doesn't. Did you know that you can run up this slope slowly and you won't slip unless you stop? Well, it's a lot easier to run up it when the game is going so fast. Also, dodging these bowling balls or whatever, I pretty much have it figured out. King Bob-omb, on the other hand, while not exactly impossible, is more deserving of a gift than Tooty from Banjo Kazooie. But whether or not he is possible, I don't care. Here at Octopus Joey Studios, we do the impossible. And by studios, I mean a single bedroom in a boring house in a state where a bunch of terrible things happen. But we still do the impossible! While climbing back up the mountain, I fell down here and then accidentally performed the glitch where the bob-omb pushes you through the grate. Cool. But eventually I climbed back up the mountain and found a method that works, and I call it punching in circles. It looks really stupid, but it works. Do I even want to try foot race with Koopa the Quick? Yes! Well, I failed a few times because of the bowling ball things, and because it's very easy to fall off the mountain, and even this bridge. To beat Koopa the Quick at this speed, you pretty much have to take both warps and then be somewhat fast for the rest of it. The problem with that plan is that it's especially hard to run in straight lines in this game because of the camera. So you have to angle the camera properly from the beginning, then take the 2 warps, then get to the flag fairly quickly. Not very easy, but I managed to do it. The slide, however, I spent so much time on this slide that the music now gives me PTSD. Is that offensive? Yes, it is. I spent so much time on this slide that the music made me gay. That's even more offensive. I just don't like the music, okay? I tried everything. Jumping to slow myself down, doing different things at different angles, and I even attempted the shortcut a few times to avoid all the turns, but nothing worked. It really doesn't help that the speed isn't consistent at all. Sometimes it's 5 times as fast, sometimes it's 10 times as fast, usually it's somewhere in between. So enough of that, let's do Whomp's Fortress. Well, I found a method for walking in straight lines. Point yourself in the way you want to go into first person, and zoom out. Just don't overshoot the platform like I did. Also, the sped up Piranha Plant music sounds like it belongs in a really cheap carnival. But while that method for walking in a straight line works a little bit, it's still not extremely practical. The collapsing bridge is just not very easy to get past. Luckily, I eventually remembered that this secret warp exists. Time to fight the Big Whomp. Well, now that the time that he stays down is significantly reduced, it's very hard to ground pound on him at the right time in order to kill him. However, there is a glitch that works pretty well if you can time it right 3 times. If you ground pound right when he's about to land on you, you'll clip through him and ground pound on him. Requires some good timing, but it's the only practical way to do it. The second star is way easier than the first because all you have to do is climb to the top, so it's just like the first star but without a boss fight. The third star isn't extremely hard if you know how to aim the cannon, but the controls are extremely sensitive because of the speed, so it does require a lot of adjusting. I actually made some good progress on the level. I got the star where you blast away the wall and came close to getting the 8 red coin star. But the owl, man. It's kind of easy to forget that the owl has a time limit because I haven't needed that much time in at least 14 years. But yes, the owl does have a time limit, and he will drop you off the side of the map if you're not careful. But enough about how all owls are definitely vicious murderers, because I think Jolly Roger Bay just set a new high for Nintendo 64 songs that sound really stupid sped up. The hardest part of Jolly Roger Bay at this speed is that you drown very quickly, making it really hard to get the first star. The third star, however, which is accessible from the beginning, is very easy. Alright, time for Bowser in the Dark World. It's actually pretty fun at this speed. But fun doesn't mean easy. It's very difficult, especially toward the end. I eventually gave up. Honestly, I'm just impressed I made it this far. You know what? That wasn't fun. It was a little fun, but it's not an experience I'd recommend. Playing games at this speed is ridiculous and sometimes impossible, especially when these games weren't made to be played this fast. The cameras always screw you up, there's almost no reaction time, and I only really did it to see if I could. Games don't need to be this fast to be fun, especially when being fast hurts them in the long run. So I guess the point that I'm trying to make is that Sonic the Hedgehog is a dead franchise. My name is Octopus Joey. Bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and click either of the videos on screen for more. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/octojoey and follow me on social media at twitter.com/octojoey and facebook.com/octopusjoey.